It's time to talk about the CRISPR babies and the foolish scientist who made them. This is a dark story, so buckle your seatbelts. When this story first broke in 2019, I was in grad school, and I remember all the leaders in the CRISPR field were just like, what the f***? A scientist in China used CRISPR to make gene-edited babies to break a gene called CCR5 with the intention to protect them against HIV infection. This might make sense given that the father was HIV positive, so it could be possible that when the kids were born, they too would have HIV. But let's dig a little deeper. This work was never published, but it was sent for peer review, and in that process, some glaring red flags appeared. There were so many red flags, but they can be generally bucketed into 3 different areas. First, the study was rampant with technical uncertainties. Second, there was questionable informed consent. And finally, the publication lacked key information, like the funding sources. Not to mention, it misrepresented when the babies were born. What a strange thing to lie about. Not to mention, he first made this announcement on YouTube. But the scariest part of all was that the work was completely unjustified. Here's an excerpt from that publication. We can see that the father was HIV positive, though he was adherent to anti-HIV therapy and had undetectable HIV in his blood. Later, we go on to read, the male or the father sperm was washed thoroughly to remove infectious seminal fluid, which is a standard method to prevent the father from transmitting HIV to his kids. So then if the scientist was not trying to protect the kids from getting HIV from the father, what was he protecting them from? The possibility that one day, maybe if they have sex with an HIV positive person, they would be protected from contracting it? That risk to benefit ratio is so biased towards risk that this work is unjustified. This scientist was fined, jailed, lost his laboratory and career. Rightfully so. There's a lot more to be discussed here, but I would recommend reading this article from MIT. Fortunately, this negative news is a little one of a kind with CRISPR, and mostly it is being used to improve human and planet health. And I'm going to keep talking about that on this page, so hit that follow button.